Hello everyone, my name is Richard Edwards. I am Director of Bands here at Ohio Wesleyan, Professor of Music and Coordinator of the Music Education Program, and Co-Director for the OWU Summer Music Camp. Welcome to the grand finale concert for all of our string ensembles. Your campers have been working very hard. We've been keeping them very hydrated, and I hope you are hydrating as well on today's weather. But I am super excited to share all of our string students' efforts with you over the next hour. We have 6 chamber string groups and 2 large ensemble string groups. Up first, we have the junior chamber strings led by Jill Bixler. She has a few notes for you.
Okay, I'm just going to talk at you. Hopefully you can hear me. This is, as they want to be called, the Bazinga 7. And we had a great week. We worked on only one piece, and they were a little bit touchy to hear that everybody else did others, and I said, there's no problem with that. We worked a lot on ensemble skills that are taught or that are done with professional chamber orchestras. So I'm really, really proud of all the work they've done, and this is the Bazinga 7 playing There's Music in the Air.
Over on the other side of the stage, we have our next junior chamber strings led by Coach Keegan Lammers.
Hi everyone, my name, as Dr. Edwards said, is Keegan Lammers, and I've had the privilege of coaching this group this week. They've decided to be called the Bird Group, and if you want to know why, you can ask them later, and I think they'll giggle about it then too. They have been a privilege to work with, as I said. They work really hard, just like Ms. Bixler talked about, on some chamber music communication skills and really honing in on our intonation. They're used to playing in really big groups, so I'm really proud of the way that they've worked together and stepped up to the plate to play in this smaller group. So I'll let them take it away, and they'll tell you what they're playing.
This is theme from Symphony No. 1 by Brahms.
One, two, three.
I know.
All right, we're going to make our first transition now as the chamber strings for Bixler and Glamours go back to their seats, and then Wasserman and Snyder come on back.
I enjoy doing this.
While that transition is going on, I have several other notes I want to share with you throughout the concert today. Probably the first one I'd like to draw your attention to is on the back of your program, there are two really important, actually lots of really important pieces of information that we want to draw your attention to. If you have some feedback for us on the staff here, we would love to hear what you think of our camp. If you're a camper, if you're a parent, a community member, a staff member, please go to the QR code, fill out the quick form, let us know how we can make this experience even better for all of us when we come back next year. And by the way, the tentative date for next year's music camp is June 15th to the 20th, 2025. Registration opens online Saturday, February 8th.
Hanging out with his buddy. He's actually talking now. Yeah. I don't know his name. It might be his buddy Xander. Because I know he had a couple friends that were in his.
All right, I had to be reminded of my name, and I'm not sure that I understand where it comes from, but this is the,
Good point.
I think it's a little too clean.
Do you remember this
string quartet.
That's the one kid
Get it right?
just dropped off.
The, like the Ohio State.
That was just chugging.
Is our first name. So we had a great, I had a lot of fun. This was a really fun group. We actually which is, I call it the gateway drug quartet to everything that is wonderful and brilliant about string quartets. It's Mozart K157. And every group that starts out at any age, older adults, tiny, tiny children, they all play K157. And we actually spent a lot of time playing K157 because once we tasted string quartet music, we couldn't back away from it. So we're not going to play that for you. We almost did, but next year, when they're older, at some point, go home and listen to it on YouTube. It's great. But we're going to play two other pieces for you. One is called Lullaby, and the second one is Czech folk song. Czech folk song. Czech song. Just Czech song. I depend a lot on them for the information that my brain is not retaining. So we're going to start with Lullaby.
So we're six. We're We're going to play a quintet by Pedro Gilabert, and we're going to use double the cellos and double the violas. Okay? And we worked hard on exaggerating the dynamics, which means the piano softer, and the fortes, which are loud, louder. So louder, loud, softer, soft. Okay. Now we'd like to play our second piece, which is also called Divertimento. It was also by Pedro Gilabert, but this is called Divertimento 2. That one was Divertimento, or actually just Divertimento, and we always call it Divertimento 1. Okay, so what's really interesting about this is we found we needed more violin. So Roz is playing the second violin part. So she volunteered as a viola player. She volunteered to play the violin part to help us out. Okay, good.
So
Okay, we're coming up on another transition. We're going to move from chamber strings to the full junior strings ensemble, co-led by both Jill Bixler and Keegan Lammers. Please hold on, and we'll be with you in a couple minutes.
Why is he always better than I'm just gonna whiff my own String. Oh, I like it. I'll call it a wand. Took his little wand. Oh, that gets used to it.
been sitting for a long time, waiting with their instruments getting warmer and warmer. I introduced myself earlier. I'm Keegan Lammers, and I also got to conduct the junior strings, which you see in front of you. They have done a phenomenal job working with both myself and Mrs. Bixler, and I'm sure she'll talk a little bit more about the work we've done. But I am especially proud of them for taking risks and trying new techniques with movement and expressiveness that they maybe haven't gotten to in their school orchestras at such a young age. So I'm really excited for them to get to try those out with you. Our first piece starts off with a bang, and it's called Exhilaration.
this week. It was just so much fun. I have to say, the coolest thing happened yesterday. And this is kind of why we still do this job I still do this job after many, many years. I looked over, I was sitting about where I am sitting right now, and they just got it, like all of a sudden clicked, and I looked over and their eyes were just, and I looked and they were smiling, they were grinning, and one student over there said, you know, this makes me feel exhilarated. And that is why we do this. And I am going to be in trouble if I don't tell you that by some of my students, I say that it is a requirement that after a great concert that you go and get ice cream. I know since it's not First Friday, there are many, many choices for where you may go after this. Now, this is a very different character piece. We talked about the Disney version of Anastasia as opposed to what it, some of the other darker versions of the earlier Russian Revolution times. And this is, I'm trying to get them to think of a little tinkly ballerina music box. And we worked on different rhythms and, again, different characters, movement, and dynamics.
was especially fun. This is one of my favorites. It's called The Red Lion. And in this piece, they get to use a newer finger pattern that most of them have probably been introduced to very recently. This isn't my chance to hint at them that they use these different notes in this song. And I just want to say thank you to all of the parents from all of the groups that we've seen here today, but especially the junior strings. Your students have been a privilege for us to work with. We've had so many laughs all the time, all of the laughs. It's even right now. And boy, I'm just so thankful for the opportunity to have worked with them. So we hope you enjoy our grand finale, our grand battle of the Red Lion. Here we go.
Great job, junior strings. All right, another transition time. We're going to shift into senior string camper mode. We're going to invite Miss Junior Strings to head back to their seats, and we're going to reset the stage for Senior Strings Chen and Senior Chamber Strings Chen and Senior Chamber Strings Snyder. While that transition is going on, this is a longer announcement, but it's a good one, and it's really important. I want to tell you a little bit of what has been going on this week, some more of the details that your campers have been experiencing, not just in their large ensembles, a vast array of electives that they participated in. Some of their elective choices were to do the chamber strings group that we've heard from the juniors, and we'll hear from the seniors in a moment. But there were actually 23 different elective activities across 2 elective periods in the middle of the day. And some of those, actually, let me try to get all of those activities, were electives included music theater, composition, conducting, drumline, junior and senior, rock band, junior and senior, beginning, jazz band, junior jazz band, senior jazz band, all the array of chamber strings that you've seen right here, composition classes, I think I mentioned conducting. But one of the things that I think makes this camp so exciting for so many different people is we all have this common bond of loving music, and we take music lessons and classes in school, a stringed instrument, a band instrument, we sing in choir, but then there's a lot of other ways that we can love music. And the feedback we're hearing is students love music in a lot of different ways, and that's one of the things we love about this camp, and we hope that we can keep growing and expanding even more opportunities. I've heard a rumor about a drum circle. But this is a lot of work to get all of these electives, to get all the private lessons that the students choose to take, and to keep them on track with all of these amazing opportunities is the hardest working team of music summer camp counselors you could imagine. We have a few of them with us right now. Maya, Ryuka, Melanie, could you please stand up and just take an enormous amount of applause? Thank you very much. We still have some work to do after the concert, but then it's time for the staff party. There are tremendous people on this staff, and I hope you'll look at the program and follow up on where they're all coming from and what they're all doing for us. This is the 4th year that we have had the OWU Summer Music Camp. It started in 2019 as just a day camp. We took a couple of years off for the COVID, and then we came back in 2022, and we had our first overnight camp last year, and then this year we expanded our overnight camper numbers. I'm really excited with the way this camp went down. Again, this was a lot of work, and it was a team effort all year long to provide this amazing experience all week long. So thank you to our conductors, our counselors, the staff here who have provided delicious food for us every meal, the folks who ran in here to turn on the AC when it didn't work one morning. All of OWU is behind the team of this camp, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who's made this possible. And parents, thank you. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. We appreciate you.
I like your nails. I like your nails. Very summery.
Larry Clark.
All right, we somehow neglected completely to even talk about a group name. So I am going to suggest, a la Jill Bixler, that this is the go get ice cream after the concert. Because it is very hot, and they've worked so hard, all of them. So we're going to play two pieces for you. The first is an Irish folk song, and the second is called To a Wild Rose.
So good music.
folks. That's the last, right? Yeah, okay. It's time for our final transition as we get ready for the Senior Strings Ensemble. While they are making their way to the stage, our final ensemble of the concert, I would like to point out a couple things coming up in your immediate and long-term future. Most immediately, at the end of this concert, day campers are dismissed to their parents. Counselors, please help them find their folks and make sure that they're getting connected with their families immediately after the concert. If you are one of our overnight campers, parents, or family members, please get them as soon as you can to Smith Hall, where we will pack them up and check them out. There is someone currently there checking people out from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock at Smith Hall. Make sure you get all your stuff out of the room first, and then return your key to Jeremy Stanton or Ash Brown. They should be there in the lobby of Smith Hall to help you get checked out. It has been a wonderful week working with all of you, making music with all of you, and I just want to point out a couple exciting things in the year ahead for the Performing Arts Department. In November, we are bringing back the OWU Honor Choir Festival for middle school and high school choir members. In February, we will also have our OWU Honor Band Festival for middle school and high school band members. We are also in the works trying to figure out a way to get a chamber event that could fit into the late spring area that would involve some string students as well. But again, we also hope to see you all back again next year for more exciting string, choir, band, and lots of other genres and ways to make music and love music here at the OWU Summer Music Camp. I think we're about ready for our final ensemble conducted by Tom Chen, the Senior Strings.
I'm Chen. I actually teach just north of Indianapolis at Carmel High School. Why am I here? A lot of reasons. But I really love working at camps like this. I was here last year, and after that experience last year, I just knew I had to come back. Actually, as long as Dr. Edwards would allow me to come back. And I think whether or not I come back next year actually has a lot to do with how this last piece goes. So, wish me luck. Right. Thank you so much. Such a supportive audience. This is great. So I just want to thank you all so much for allowing your students to come and work with us here. Now, I do know some of these students here were repeats from last year, and I really enjoyed working with them and hope to do so again next year. We did sort of start this ritual thing at each of our rehearsals. It's not like cult-like, but in order to, so our two counselors, Ryuka and Melanie, they just did such a great job taking care of the kids the whole week. And so we sort of started this thing to thank them, and they're trying to run right now. Ryuka, stay there. So we'll do it. Hey guys, let's stand up. Be careful with your instruments. Here we go. Okay, so let's bow. Maybe we'll bow to Melanie first. Okay, so bow to Melanie. Okay, now Ryuka next. Okay, thank you. So we would be remiss to not thank our counselors. They really kept me in check. I mean, there were so many times when I was like, these kids can rehearse for 10 more hours, right? And then they were like, no, Mr. Chen, don't do that. Get arrested. So they really kept me on schedule and really been helpful this whole week in making sure that the kids were safe and fed. So this last piece, Battle of the Bows. Now, the kids are going to tell you that I didn't realize what this piece was about until about the middle of the week, but I promise that I definitely did. And since I said it first, you have to believe me now. But this last piece, Battle of the Bows, it's kind of like a battle between sections. So what you're going to hear is a lot of back and forth, different sections getting melodies, and it's just a lot of fun, really exhilarating. That's the last piece. And then, Dr. Edwards, do you have any announcements for them afterward, or are they just going to disperse?
Just thank you, be safe, and drink more water.
Awesome, great. So after this, you can go off and get the ice cream that you're all